Hi, boys and girls. This week we read three different texts. With Miss Chen, you read Shapes in the Clouds, this fun, realistic fiction story that maybe reminded you of finding shapes in the clouds. You also read The Sun and this nonfiction text. This one was really cool, teaching you about science and all about the sun, teaching you real facts. And then with me, you got to read a fable, Wind and the Sun, the wind and the sun. And oh, yeah, the wind got to learn a lesson in this one because it was a fable. It had a moral or a lesson. So maybe you enjoyed one of these more than the other. And that's what we're going to be focusing on today for your writing. So, in order to make my opinion, I'm thinking about those three different genres nonfiction, and then I'm thinking about the two different kinds of fiction realistic fiction and a fable. And those story structures and those different kinds of stories, maybe there's one genre you prefer over another. Maybe it's the topic. Maybe you prefer what they're talking about in one over the other. Um, so let's think about what happened. Let's think about the genre and think about which one you liked best. Our paper today says Observing the Sky, and this is our planning paper that gets us ready to write on the next few pages. After comparing and contrasting two books, we're going to do three texts. We can think about which one we might like better. We might like one genre better than another. We might like the characters or the plot in another. Which selection did you like best from Unit 8 this week? Think about the reasons why you liked it better. Write your opinion and support your opinion with key details. So remember what happened in the story so you can support it with key details. I wrote, for my opinion, I'm going to start my sentence with the word I preferred. And I preferred, you probably guessed it, the one that I read, the fable, The Wind and the Sun. So I looked back in the packet and I found the title for the story that I'm picking. You find the title for the story that you're picking, and we're going to write it on the line. So you will notice I did proper nouns and uppercase capital letters in a title. So notice in a title, the wind and the sun, and the don't need to be uppercase, but the wind and sun do, period at the end of our sentence. I preferred the wind and the sun. You will also notice I underlined the title of the story. And whichever story you choose, whether it's sun or looking at the clouds or the wind and the sun, you will write it and underline it. Now we need to think of three reasons why you liked that one the best. What happened in the story that you really liked or that you enjoyed? Or what detail or fact did you learn about that you found really interesting? So here, for example, I said, it is a fable that teaches you a lesson. So that's one of the reasons why I really enjoyed it. For number two, I'm going to write what that lesson is. So I'm going to write, and so I wrote, I learned not to force people. And for number three, I had the idea, the sun taught the wind by winning. So that was my example from the text. And now let me draw my conclusion for my writing. So for my conclusion, I wrote the sentence, I like to read about being good, period. On the next page, I get to put all these sentences together into a nice piece of writing. And when I put mine all together, this is what it looks like. I preferred the wind and the sun. It is a fable that teaches you a lesson. I learned not to force people. The sun taught the wind by winning. I like to read about being good. What are you going to write about?